Hello and welcome to the Games Afoot, where something something Sherlock Holmes games something something. Um, it's been a rough couple of days, off of a rough couple of weeks, off of a rough couple of months, off of 2020. Um, so if I'm a little low key today, I hope y'all understand. I know most of you who are regulars to the chat kind of know what's going on with me right now, so this won't be a surprise. But kind of for everyone else, there's a lot going on, and I'm a little distracted. But I really wanted to play some fucking video games, so that's what I'm gonna do today. Um, a couple of points. You'll notice that the camera looks a little different, angle's a little different. I had been running all of these with my laptop plugged into a second monitor and trying to manage things, and I kept running into issues. You may remember I was having trouble at one point reading the walkthrough, and my last time my computer just flat out crashed. So I'm hoping that this will alleviate that piece. Um, but because I'm on one screen now, I do have chat and on my iPad in a separate space over here. So let's see how that all works. And also, I'm gonna have to Alt Tab between things to occasionally check on stuff. So I don't think it will be a problem, but we shall see. Um, and then finally, last session. Oh boy. I thought I had glitched because things were just not working at all. I tried switching to a different game, which is what caused my laptop to crash. Um, so I didn't get to show you any more of the amazing hidden object puzzle game that was The Hound of the Baskervilles, and I say amazing in the most sarcastic way possible. It's a fun game, but it's not really exciting. But thanks to Yodan in the chat, sent me a link to a YouTube video, and I was able between that and some different walkthrough readings and some messing around, I actually did figure out that we had missed some extremely small steps, and it was just blocking everything from happening. So let us get to that. So, and this is going to be akin to like when we didn't look at the one pixel in serrated scalpel, um, kind of silliness. So we're going to jump to the storeroom. Yeah, Jay, a week of Mondays is the month of Mondays. 2020 Mondays, ain't that the truth? So we did do this before. We looked at this, and you will remember I did this because it's irritating.
These footprints are size 9.
Um, So I always kind of complain about that. What I didn't do is also look at it with the magnifying glass.
Hold on. The most recent footprints on the ground correspond exactly with those that I found in the National Gallery, in the soil from the pot. Those of Lupin.
So we had to confirm that this footprint was actually Lupin's. And then the other one is for this bit, with this thing here.
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs.
So I had to walk over here.
I must have made a mistake. Time to think.
That's the other thing. I have to go through here. I have to take the call out of my inventory. Look at this. Take the magnifying glass.
What singular tracks these are. I'd like to know which bird it is. I have to attract it.
Now that I have the note that I have to attract it, now I can actually start doing stuff. That took way longer to find out, and I have no idea how I would have found it out without a walkthrough, honestly.
A nice faience plate.
See, now I can grab that. I couldn't grab that before. But honestly, I think if I had been playing this game without a walkthrough, I probably would just quit at a certain point, because it was as obtuse. And this is something that I've talked about before, but I think it's worth kind of going over again, is puzzle design. You have to kind of broadcast to players a bit more what you need them to do. You have to really make sure that that's clear. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't have to be clear as in like obvious. Obvious and clear are two different things. Let me kind of show you an example here real quick. So I want to double check this anyway. I think I did everything here. I mean, you know, we got the directions to go in here. That was relatively clear. And also, you notice none of these have the options. So I mean, which door is open? It forces me one to have that. That's obvious. Okay, I guess it's not in here. But I mean, if something is like opening that door, icon pops up. I click on that, door opens. That's again clear. It doesn't necessarily tell me what to do when I walk past the door, but it's pretty clear what my options are. Let me show you this real quick. I'm gonna go back to this. Okay, well, let me do it anymore. Okay, fine. But when I was looking at that stuff before, there were two icons in the bottom. Up till now, it had not been clear that you have to use both those icons to progress, because sometimes you use some and you can always get information. In this case, I needed to do those both to progress. That was not clear. So now going forward, I'm going to use every icon in every area, even if it seems counterintuitive, because the game is training me that's what I need to do. Yeah, Jesus, yeah, it's pretty accurate. Um, and my alt tab is not working the way I'd hoped it would. Great. All right, that's my input backup plan. I also have the walkthrough on my iPad, so I can to chat for a moment, but I will be able to go through the iPad. So, we talked to the warder, we chased the 6 birds, we looked at the bird up at the tree, we got the feather. And for those who do the stream, this is weeks and weeks and weeks of backlog stuff I'm trying to get through here because I want to get to the next good bit here. Here cracks with smooth notes alternating from the shrubs. We'll check it later. Go forward and check the place of the sacks. Look at the ground in front of the storm's wooden door, which we did that. Use a magnifying glass and a measuring tape on the footprints. That's the part I missed before. Chief Order of Wives, we've already done that. Get the key to the cook's flat, we've already done that. We've already gone through cook's flats. Study the graffiti, open the storeroom, done that. Take the faience plate, take the string. I think I have the string. Yes, I have string. Red drops from the jar of tomatoes. Take the canvas bag. I have the canvas bag. Take the sunflower seeds. Because I've grabbed it one of the past walkthroughs, but I don't think I have it for this. I think that's one thing I did before it crashed, so let me double check that.
Nope. Sunflower seeds. They are a delicacy to certain birds.
Yeah, there they are. Yes, I did get that. Okay. Bird in storeroom. Go to the grilled door in the back of the room. We're close to the padlock. Right. Open the cauldron, turn right, and go to the stone. Shelf hanging by the carcasses. Open the covered jar. And get the illegible piece of paper. I did get that. Okay. Exit the storeroom. Now we will do that. Go to the Queen's house. I will say I'm so glad I have this jump. It does make things a lot easier. Enter the dormitory. These are the other things I couldn't get before. The blue socks.
A dirty sock. Rather unsavory.
Note the old flash camera. Noted. Take the red book. That is the bird print book. Yep. Exit the dormitory. Go right. Down the stairs by the wall and under the archway. Wait. Turn right. Go right. Did that. Oh, the stairs are over here. Okay. There we go. Go right and forward to another archway. Go right, forward, and left. The first stairs you see on the left wall. Okay. Climb up the stairs. Check. Oh, there's one. Okay. Take the blue box of munitions from the table. Box of munitions from the table. Did I already get that? Oh, there it is.
A box of munitions, empty.
Note the armor, shields, so armor, coat of arms, net, and cannon around the room. Take the telescope from a navy table at the far wall. Yeah, see, this is all stuff we can take now that I couldn't take before. Where is telescope? We've called it a sock. It's actually spelled S-O-X in the walkthrough. Actually, hold on. No, it's called sock. Okay. I think socks were contemporaneous. I already have telescope. That'd be why I'm looking for it. I believe socks was contemporaneous at the time, so. Take coal from fireplace.
Coal. This may prove to be useful.
I'm sure it will. Take note of the bird call tray. There's an impressive collection of weapons right at the fireplace. Correct. Jump to the White's Tower. Use the telescope taken from weapon room on the gray bird at the top of the right tree. Telescope. I'm not sure how to use the telescope. On the gray bird at the top of the right tree. I'm not seeing a gray bird. Yeah, it is kind of arbitrary. And this is another design thing, which I don't want to say it's good or bad. It's more kind of just, it is what it is. The adventure game design of you could only take things that are relevant to the adventure at hand, which on the one hand keeps you from having way too much stuff that's completely irrelevant. On the other hand, does mean that if you don't entirely know what you need or why you need it, it means you're just randomly picking up stuff that makes no concept, that has no concept at the time. But eventually you go, oh yeah, that's why I needed that. So there's no reason the character would know this is important. Yeah, there was a point where I did have a cursor. That's true, but also I'm not having a cursor at all now. I do see a bird there.
A bird is hiding in one of the trees. Its song is quite lovely.
Oh wow, this is super irritating.
This bird is black like a raven, but its morphology is completely different. What type of bird is it then?
What type of bird is it indeed? Well, good thing we have a handy bird book. It is the rock partridge. Yes, it's a bad CGI bird. It's a very common breed in this time period. Okay, so the rock partridge, a cousin to the Corsican red-legged partridge. Their habitat is the Sardinian forests. Jump to the weapon room and take the female wood partridge call. Imagine how this would have played out if we did not have this jump. I mean, it's still a little irritating because I keep forgetting where everything's at, but... Wood, partridge call, partridge call. I do have the wood partridge call already. Okay, well, that was convenient. Good job past me. Go to the white tower again. Go to the right tree. This is the right tree. I will use gray partridge call.
It's definitely a partridge. Catch it now.
Oh good, I don't have to actually do some kind of mini game to catch it.
The message written on this paper is illegible.
Well, I now have 2 pieces of illegible paper. Okay. Yes, the capacity of a steam engine. Obviously, this is like 1 byte. Okay, so jump to scaffold sites. Map, scaffold site, which I believe is somewhere around here. Right. Look closely at the paths of the stone, close to the shrub.
A strange call, like a series of cracks alternating with smooth notes. The cries seem to be coming from the shrubs.
Look closely at the tracks, bank flying last, done that. Blue bird of paradise, place the dirty blue sock, blue munitions box, and blue plate on the ground by the shrub.
No, I don't have enough items to attract this bird. No, I don't have enough items to attract this bird.
So I do have to catch.
The message written on this paper is illegible.
Again, this is inconsistent. The previous bird flew into my hands, no problem. This one I had actually had the canvas bag, and the only reason why I knew I had to do that is because I happened to look over and go, oh, I need to use a canvas bag. Ramparts by Wakefield Tower. Wakefield Tower. I think this is our favorite bird. Oh no, there's this thing again. Hear a bird, open the brown door, go down to the jewel lock, passing the locked jewel house room, enter through the brown door to the ramparts. I turn and see a bird on the roof, it's trying to say something. Did all that. Go down the stairs, passing the doors, you're going to be ornate, and then Chief Warder opens the dungeon, look around, check on the brown plaque with Latin inscriptions.
At last, Holmes. I haven't found anything of interest, but having heard the cries for so long, I am convinced that they are not those of a bird.
Okay, sure. Sure, Watson.
It appears to be Latin, Watson. The inscription is almost completely worn off. Hanging above is a shield that we can't identify. Watson, the symbols on the heraldic shields and this Latin inscription may permit us to get through to the other side of the wall. I must try to find something to bring out the contrasts.
Understood, Holmes.
I will use the coal.
It's hardly more visible, and it will take me hours to translate them as they are so foreign to me.
Wait, I think I've already seen that coat of arms on one of our antique shields in the arms room. I seem to recall that Brigadier Medcalf explained the symbolism of these arms. If you show it to him, I'm sure he could share that information with you. He's either doing his rounds, or you'll find him in the dormitory.
I'll take care of it, Watson. Stay here and see if you can make anything out of the Latin inscription.
You're too kind, Holmes. Go on, then.
I'm laughing because the way Watson's been treated in this game, he is kind of dim, but in fact, he probably does know a bit of Latin, being a doctor. Probably does find out. I see you guys talking about the Sierra Quest games. Yeah, it's, the Quest games are... I'm still learning to play some of them, actually. I'm slowly trying again Quest for Glory. Quest for Glory is definitely one of those games where I need to focus on it, and I just haven't had the capacity to really focus on it, so I do want to definitely kind of give it a shot at some point. But look closely at the shield of black and see it has 3 crowns. Okay. Jump to the weapons room. Go to the shields on the wall. Oh, there it is. There it is. Click to take the 3 crowns and a blue shield.
This shield resembles that of the crypt. It appears quite old.
Jump to the Queen's house. Talk to Metcalf, standing right by the dormitory door.
Who goes there?
Holmes, Sherlock Holmes. Are you Brigadier
Same
Metcalf?
guy.
That's me.
More accurately, it looks like it's the same model.
What can I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
Got you for you.
What can I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
I've been informed that you know the origin of the coat of arms on this heraldic shield.
Indeed. I'm no expert on the subject, but I do dabble in the Middle Ages. In short, I know that it's the coat of arms of the Round Table.
Thank you.
Think nothing of it. Back to my rounds.
I'll say so. Okay, so let's go to arms to round table. We would jump back to Wakeford Tower. For those of you who are just kind of popping in, I am shamelessly cheating and clipping through this because we've been in this section for a really long time and I want to get to the rest of the game. So you're going to see me a lot of rattling stuff off.
It appears that the coat of arms is that of the Round Table. Strange, don't you think? No doubt the coats of arms on either side are those of knights or other heroes from Camelot. My intuition suggests that the Latin inscription is connected. Mr. Smith, would you have a book on King Arthur, Camelot, or the Round Table around here?
No, I'm sorry. And there's no chance that any member of the staff would have one in their own possession.
Watson, you must return to Baker Street and find Barnes, the bookseller. He usually works late, sometimes throughout the night it seems, ever since we brought him back that book from New Orleans. If he isn't there, find him somehow and ask him to open his store. A reference work that can help us will certainly be found there. As for me, I'll stay here to decipher this cryptic inscription.
As you wish, Holmes.
One of the guards can take you in a cart, Dr. Watson.
Very good, Mr. Smith. You take care of that, then return to see me. I will most assuredly need your knowledge of the place.
Now we're just going to play Watson real quick. Are we... Oh, right, at least we're in front of the bookseller. That's right. Hey, Brinkhammer, nice to see you. This is...
It's most assuredly closed. How will I find Barnes? I thought he lived above his shop. Perhaps if I called out. Barnes? Barnes! Barnes! Barnes!
Hey, are you thick? You'll end up spending the night in a cell if you keep this up. Such a racket at this hour. Hey, I recognise you. You're the detective's dog's body. I guess that with that coin I gave you, you bought yourself a keg of beer.
Listen, young man, I am not a servant, I am a doctor. And the reason I am shouting at the top of my lungs is not because I am under the effects of alcohol, but because it is required by an affair the importance of which a mere pencil pusher such as yourself could not possibly begin to fathom.
I'll beg of you, keep quiet, your lordship. I was merely trying to help your lordship avoid a disagreement with the police force. It is rather curious that a person of such standing as your lordship is howling in the middle of the night in order to hunt down a second-rate bookseller.
Yes, I see. Well, since you seem to know everything, doesn't Barnes the bookseller live up there, on top of his shop?
Would his lordship pardon me, but I'm a journalist, not a good Samaritan. You see, I sell my information, and you haven't named a price yet.
I have a few coins. Is it...
I don't need your coppers, Doctor. Whatever is inside there isn't worth a yawn. But we could come to an arrangement if you give me your word as a gentleman that you'll help me out someday.
Anything you wish. Well, within reasonable limit, of course.
It won't be anything difficult. All I want is to get a good scoop. Got it?
I'll do what I can, but discretion is vital.
I will be discretion itself. Listen, your friend Barnes had problems with his landlady recently. She claims he's been doing some strange experiments. He screams during the night. There's all kinds of strange odours. In short, 2 days ago, he had to move to a room at the Golden Lion.
In that hideous dive?
That's the place. He's there every night anyway.
But the Golden Lion must be closed at this hour.
Officially, yes. But you'll see...
We're closed.
Go on, Doc. No doubt you'll find your man inside. Until next time, Doctor. And don't forget your promise.
So a couple things there. One, Dog's Body actually is an interesting element. It is a common term of time for a servant. It's what we call a gopher nowadays. Someone who goes off and does things, does relatively menial tasks. So that is era-appropriate slang. Two, a lot of the... I actually had forgotten how much this references The Awakening. And again, it's not anything spoilery. You just need to know that the bookseller is a character who gets affected by the effects of the previous game, Sherlock Holmes: The Awakening. And he's acting like a traditional minor character in a Lovecraftian story. So this is... I had not realized that there was a lot more payoff of The Awakening in this game. But I will at some point be playing The Awakening 2, so you can see all of that. But this is a little more traditional game, so that's why I started this one. And then Jay Gray asked about Mr. Smith, wouldn't if he had a military rank. That is the area I am fuzzier on. I do know that the guards at London Tower are military people, but I don't think they go by... I don't think they go by rank amongst themselves. I think they're just Mr. amongst themselves. But I don't know Victorian military etiquette as much as I would like. But anywho. Laura?
Pardon me, I'm looking for someone. I've been told...
Scram, you drunkard!
What? I think he's drunk.
Excuse me, sir?
Shh. Keep it down, mate. You'll blow me cover.
You're what?
Me cover. You deaf or how?
But why a cover?
Because I'm a bobby. On the lowdown. Hush hush and all that.
You don't say.
It's a fact. I know everything about everyone, I do.
I would assume that a professional of the police force such as yourself must know where to find Barnes. You know, the bookseller on Glentworth Street.
Look behind the door at the back, next near the bar.
I'll take my leave then.
Fine, but shh.
So first of all, yes, that hat is amazing. It's wow, it defies so much. So I don't know. I don't know if the Metropolitan Police had undercover agents at this time. Remember, this is around the late 80s, 1880s. I don't think they had really done undercover. I may be wrong on that one, though. Again, I'm not as familiar on police or military stuff.
Pardon me, I'm looking for someone. I've been told...
That don't interest me, mister. Here, I serve drinks and you drink 'em, that's all. When you start looking, you end up finding trouble here. So, what'll it be?
It'll be nothing. Alright. Door next to the bar. Oh, there are 2 doors next to the bar.
Hey, you there. Where do you think you're going?
Door. I'm going to the door.
Pardon me, I'm looking for someone.
That don't interest me, miss.
Shh, the walls have got ears.
I'll take my leave then.
Fine.
Okay.
Pardon me, I'm
Scram, you drunk.
Sod off before I get Mike to take care of you, if you get me drift.
I'd be better to not insist.
Jay points out that police operations were available, but they're a matter of controversy, which is, to be fair, the police as a concept were a matter of controversy. Unlike today.
You rat!
I was surprised by that. So let me finish my thought. Was that the fact that a professional police force was actually relatively controversial, both in England and in the U.S. So the fact that undercover agents were also controversial doesn't surprise me.
Here, take my handkerchief, miss.
Thank ye, sire. You are a real gentleman, don't you know? And handsome too, what with your glad rags and all, so swanky. I've got a few nice threads myself. Perhaps we could get a little drink and I could show you my room.
No, thank you.
I don't please you? I'm too skinny? That's it, isn't it?
No, not at all. Well, somewhat. But that isn't the problem. I'm looking for a friend, and I was told that he was behind the door at the back, but the barkeep won't let me through.
You need someone to vouch for you to get in there.
What's wrong? Is something the matter?
Listen, love, you've been swell, but I'm out of brass to buy my fix. So either you help me pay my debt with Luigi, and I get you through that door, or you get out of my way. Got it?
Poor child. She's a ghost. If Holmes could see her, he'd understand the horror of his vice. Let me think. Perhaps I could find something at our lodgings to alleviate the child's suffering and make her open the door.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there. So, Watson was, if not a womanizer, he certainly was, by both him's and Holmes's admission, more comfortable with the fair sex, as it were. He was married somewhere between 1 and 3 times, depending on how you interpret the canon. And he had, quote, knowledge of women on 3 continents, unquote. So it's a little weird for Watson to be that kind of awkward and blunt around a woman, but also he is a gentleman, and this woman's obviously lower class, so I can see maybe what they're trying to go for here, but it's still playing a bit weird with me. The little too skinny thing is also a bit odd, although the weight was a very, and beauty, the connection between weight and beauty was very different in the Victorian era versus the modern day. So I see where some of his writing's coming from, but the way it's presented and the way it's acted is really tonally off. Yeah. Anyway, wow, that was a lot.
I'll leave you now, miss.
So let's go to Baker Street. We'll explore. There's a room. She's looking for some brass, which is...
It's a coal bucket in which Holmes stores his cigars. What a strange idea.
Canonically accurate. There is a coal bucket where Holmes stores his cigars. Yeah, I never visualized it, actually.
This is how Holmes organizes his correspondence that is awaiting responses. If only his clients saw that.
Accurate. And in fact, if you've played the previous Holmes game with me, you remember actually seeing the knife with the letters.
The Reichenbach Falls. What an awful memory.
That is a reference to the final problem, where Holmes allegedly died, and of course he came back later because people wanted more Sherlock Holmes stories.
Colonel Gordon. It was during the affair of the lodger in treatment.
The resident patient story, I want to say. Metronome for reasons.
My eccentric companion keeps his shag tobacco in the toe of this Persian slipper.
canonically accurate. That is also a pretty common distinction of the...
It was in this statue that we found the famous Black Pearl of the Borgias.
As a reference to the story The Six Napoleons.
Oh, what a mess.
That's just true.
Holmes's Table for Experiments. A motley collection.
Accurate. He does have his own kind of experimental chemistry area.
Ooh, The Adventure of the Dancing Men. I recall.
The Adventure of the Dancing Men. That's a pretty straightforward reference. Hey, Ross Thunderegg. Nice to see you. That was entertaining. So we're looking for something to give to a woman of low virtue to try to get her let us into a back door.
Holmes's makeup and accessories. With the help of this, his disguises are very impressive.
Disguises are definitely very...
Holmes's makeup and accessories.
Canonically an element. Particularly, probably most famously, he did it in, the one with Irene Adler. I'm blanking on the name of it all the time. But anyway, yes, he's in disguise from many stories.
A Scandal in Bohemia.
Bohemia, that's the one.
Holmes's very first adventure. But why is he keeping this journal? Holmes is not the type to archive his past adventures.
Okay, we need the Irene Adler situation. Irene Adler was in, as I mentioned, Scandal of Bohemia. She is the first woman in the canon. Well, she's the first person in the canon to actually defeat Holmes. And of course, she was a woman. A lot of pastiches, and indeed a lot of Sherlockians, have taken some of the words he said during that story, calling her the woman, and comments like Watson saying that Holmes never spoke as disparagingly of women again after that event, and has turned this into Holmes was in love with Irene Adler. And there's no real canonical support for that read. There's nothing that discounts that read, but that means a lot of people who want to jam a love story into Holmes stories brings up Irene Adler. In some cases, this is used really well. I'm not going to say it isn't. For example, Elementary does a really good job of taking Irene Adler in very interesting directions. But this is clearly kind of why is he keeping a secret? Holmes did have a picture of Irene Adler. He asked for that, and he put it away. But it was one of his many mementos of his cases. It didn't imply that he was secretly in a picture in his bedroom doing God knows what in private.
Oh, the photo of Irene Adler. I'm not surprised that Holmes kept it. To him, she is the only woman. He perceives her as being so superior to the rest of her sex that he can't even speak her name. Could he have felt something close to love for her? Who knows?
Who knows?
Holmes's Order of the Legion of Honor. I wonder why he doesn't display it on the wall.
Another interesting bit. He did earn this medal kind of in the margins between stories from France. And yet, in a separate story, at least once, maybe twice, I have to double check, he was offered a knighthood that he turned down, which led to some interesting canonical applications because Holmes has French ancestry. We talked about this in the previous episode where one of his ancestors was Vernet, the French painter. That came up earlier in the first section of this game. And he accepted French honors from the French king, but does not accept knighthood from the Queen of England. That leads to some interesting ideas on where Holmes's political stances might lie. Holmes has also said in one of the stories to be very sympathetic to the American cause and felt that at some point in time America would unify with the British Empire and to have one kind of glorious imperial empire, one glorious group, as it were, and didn't kind of qualify that necessarily Britain would be in charge of that. Probably America would. So again, Holmes is very kind of interesting political leanings for a British gentleman.
Hinayana, the oldest Buddhist school, Ceylon. Holmes has some strange bedside reading.
Holmes did make a passing reference in the story and Adventure of the Empty House that he spent time during the Great Hiatus studying abroad and studying with Buddhists. What's interesting though is this is set before any of that, so the Reichenbach Falls picture is more of an inside joke than a reference to the actual events of his quote-unquote death. But yes, he has a very impressive
Holmes's sidearm.
Holmes doesn't really carry a sidearm, actually. Usually Watson does. Not inaccurate. At one point in time, he does have a gun when he confronts Moriarty in, again, the final problem. But generally speaking, he doesn't really have a sidearm.
To think that this statue saved Holmes's life during the adventure of the empty house.
Okay, now we have an actual problem here. I want to double-check this now, because I'm almost... no? Okay, I'm wrong. You know what? I was completely wrong. I got confused with another game. We're in 1895. So yes, okay, this can canonically actually work. So, my mistake. This is 1895, and that's 1888. I got it confused with the last game we played. So yes, those events could have occurred the way they did. Alright. My bad. Good thing this game keeps track of a lot of stuff. So what are my items here? I don't have anything. Is the picture what I have to give to this guy? I don't know. Let's try that.
Coming up, love.
I'll leave you now, miss.
Alright. Let's go back. Oh, wow. Alright, this is, I just jumped to the walkthrough, and, oh, you guys are gonna hate this. Because this is, again, Sierra levels of dumb. You go to the books, you go to the bedstand here. Search the room, go to the right side of the bed, and click on the knob. That knob there. There's a vial.
He must have noticed that I was diluting his hidden vials and wanted to prevent me from doing so. It's the one time in my life that I have proven to be stronger than my friend Holmes. Alas, I cannot boast about it to him, for who knows what his reaction might be.
Now, that being said, there is some basis for this. Watson several times did try to admonish Holmes about his drug use, particularly his cocaine use. The references to his drug use did diminish chronologically after the hiatus, but the fact that Watson's basically hitting Holmes' drug stash to give it to another woman, I'm not sure about that. But again, we've talked about this before. Cocaine use is not as vilified at this time as it was, as we see it now. So the best example would be giving a hard drink to someone you know is an alcoholic. It's still not great. It's still pretty bad, but you could make the argument of, well, they're a grown person, blah blah blah. I'm not a recovering alcoholic, but someone who's just straight up an alcoholic. It's not good. I'm not trying to by any way justify what just happened there and what's about to happen here, but it's not the same as giving someone hard illegal drugs. So there's a cultural difference, while not diminishing the fact that Watson, as a doctor, really should fucking know better than doing this. But yet, here we are.
Coming up, love. Did your fine gent find something hidden under his mattress then?
No, but I have something in this vial that will prevent you from suffering tonight. And here's my card. My name is Dr. Watson. You must promise to visit me at my office next Monday. Together, we can find a solution to your problem, dear child. First, however, I must pass through this door.
Say, Eddie, this gent is one of my pals. One of the guys will pledge for him. He's in the mood for a bit of fun. Let him through, will ya?
I'll leave you now, miss.
So, okay, first of all, that does kind of redeem a little bit. It is a valid medical practice to basically say, here's enough to get you through so I can actually help you with your long-term recovery. So I walked back some what I said. The game didn't really broadcast earlier, but it did pull the ends. Yeah, the Watson's taking possible withdrawal symptoms, so we're trying to help her out before she comes in to see him on Monday. That is valid, and so I do walk back some of that. The other thing I'm going to say, though, is that because they didn't want to spend the extra time doing animation, also because this is a relatively small area, it does seem odd to me that she had this entire conversation with Watson right next to the bartender and said, well, I'll give this to me and I'll let you in. And then she makes up a complete story, but he was right there listening to the whole conversation. So, yeah, I agree, and because you foreshadowed that a little bit. It's a very loud bar. What the hell? This is amazing.
Let's go, Ginger. Go, go.
Go, Tracy.
Barnes!
Dr. Watson, what are you doing here?
I've been looking for you, Barnes. You must open your shop for me.
Out of the question, Doctor. I've bet all of my money and then some on this turtle. And if I leave the table right now, who knows if someone won't try to cheat me. Go, Ginger!
But why are you gambling to begin with? It's not like you at all.
Go, Ginger! I needed a large sum of money for my new experiments. I heard about this place, and I almost lost everything on the dogfight. But the turtles stayed true, and I'll win it back. Go, Ginger, go! Oh, no!
Come on, Barnes, time to pay up.
It's just that, you see, I'm broke, Dr. Watson. Could you loan me some money?
Fine. How much does he owe you?
£81 and sixpence.
How much?
I'll pay you back, Dr. Watson, in a few weeks. Or a few months.
In a few years. I don't have the money presently, but I would be happy to sign a promissory note.
Tough luck. I want cash. Find me some, or your little friend will never see the light of day again.
Please, Doctor. I beg you.
So, Doctor, have you finally found your friend? What's going on? It would seem that I've found some news.
This poor sod is in it for £80. I've given him credit for a week now. I want my dough.
But this gentleman is Dr. Watson. He's well known throughout the area. He should be able to guarantee...
Not bloody likely. Cash or nothing doing.
If I understood properly, Doctor, you must take Barnes from here to save his life as well as solve your own problem?
Exactly. But it seems that may not be advisable.
Say, mister, can I speak to you in private?
Can do. Got it. Doc, it could be that I'd be happy with, I don't know, some jewellery, for example, some nice trinkets, a trophy or a medal.
Dr. Watson will certainly find something appropriate. Not to worry. I'll wait for you here, Doctor, to ensure that nothing happens to your friend Barnes.
I'll do my best. You, Barnes, deserve to be left at the mercy of these rogues. Where will I find something to give to these rogues?
So, as I pull my phone out, because I want to check this, as mentioned in the chat, £80 is a lot of money, but to give you context, the purchasing power of £80 in 1895 is equivalent to £10,588 31 pence in 2020. That is a lot of money. So, yeah. Anyhow. So I need to find some jewelry. Also, turtle racing is amazing, and I was not expecting that. I am definitely excited for it, and I want to know more of that. Jewelry, a medal, a trophy, or a medal. Okay, I know what I need to get.
Yes, the only solution is to search our lodgings for something to pay the thugs from the Golden Lion with.
We don't have. I can't go into the bookstore, and I still have a place in Baker Street right now I can open up. So yeah. see if there's anything in Watson's area first before I plunder Holmes' stuff again. Nothing clickable in Watson's room. No, interesting. Looks like there's a book there, maybe, or just a postcard. A little clear. I can't figure that out. There's a probably a story Watson was working on. There's no one there. I wonder if I can click on that stuff later. We shall see. So yes.
The Order of the Legion of Honor bestowed upon Holmes. I don't see anything other than that. Good God, if he notices it is missing. Tomorrow I will have to buy it back from those crooks once I have found the necessary funds.
I will say it is interesting. Usually Holmes is the person in these kind of seedy, rough scenes. It's kind of interesting to see Watson do this. He does have a couple of moments. For example, he goes into an opium den in The Man with Twisted Lip. And so you do see him a couple times in seedier places, but it's interesting to see. Usually this is more of a Holmes in disguise infiltration kind of scene. So this is a nice change of pace, a nice touch. I actually kind of like it.
So, Doc, did you find the miracle drug that'll stop your patient from dying?
Enough, you rascal. I'll return tomorrow to buy it back.
Plus interest, you hear?
Thank you, Doctor. 1,000 thanks.
You're a good guy, Doctor. A real saviour.
Now, Barnes, you must open your shop without further delay.
I don't know how to thank you, Doctor. How can I help you? Tell me what you need, and I'll have it for you within the hour.
Yeah, MPG's talking about how when they were in Vegas, Wife went to the spa and some of the high roller tables and mentioned that the bartender was asking about something Ed, and apparently, yeah, he dropped a quarter on the main tables before moving out the high tables, and it turns out quarter is $250,000, and apparently he did it once a month. Yeah, that's some people are really into that, and it's a pretty good representation of gambling addiction. In fact, this game is actually really, this scene at least, is definitely playing with all different kinds of addiction in this strata of Victorian society, which is really interesting.
I need the most in-depth reference work you have on the Knights of the Round Table and King Arthur, with heraldic illustrations if possible.
Certainly. I think I have something somewhere. It's very rare, but I don't recall exactly where it is.
Well, let's look for it together.
You are the worst bookseller ever. And of course, you're going to help me look for it by doing absolutely nothing. You are the worst bookseller ever. Here it is.
Here, chivalry and spiritualism. Can we turn the round table? This is it, am I right?
Ah, yes, that's the one. A very rare and thorough book.
I'll take it. You can deduct it from the amount that you still owe me, Barnes. I must be off, and...
Wait, Dr. Watson. I just wanted to say before you left. Wait, where did I put it? There. A moment, please. The book in which you're interested is an extremely rare edition. My records show that its price is 98 quid 9p. It's a beautiful book. Quite rare, that.
It's your good luck that I'm in a hurry, Barnes. Otherwise I'd stuff this book down your throat, all £98 and 9p worth.
Also, it's nice to see Watson has a temper. Because he does. He absolutely does have a temper. And you don't see it much in adaptations.
Would you like to buy something else from me, Doctor?
Okay, so now what? I need to get back to... Oh, right. There we go. I just can't remember which part of the city it's in. I don't remember where it's at. When's that? Which part of the city it's in? Bank of England, St. Paul's Cathedral. There it is, Star.
There you are at last, Watson. You took your time. Do you have what I asked for?
It wasn't without difficulty, but here is a book that will help us.
A worthless book written by an unreliable author. Obviously a remnant that Barnes couldn't sell and presented you free of charge. You need to be charitable on occasion, Watson. That little bookstore could have used a few of your farthings.
If you say so, Holmes.
Fine. This should do the trick. While you were dallying, I was able to translate this inscription. I've just finished, and this is the transcription.
The first morning star was seen by Lamorak. Boris scrupulously sharpened his glaive. He waited for Percival and his crow's beak, Bedivere and his bardish, no mere knave. This is hard to read. Kay did his partisan give a mighty swing, but Lancelot's sense of duty was too strong. With sword in hand, he rejoined his king, and all of the pains in this order marched along.
This song mentions specific pearl weapons. Watson, stay here to ensure that the creature behind the wall doesn't escape.
Where are you going now, Holmes?
To find the solution to open this door.
Right, so...
I need something.
We need to put something... I'm guessing it's... We have to put something in the shields, or in these slots, in the right order. So... Right, okay. So first of all, we have the documents, and these are the different shields. Right. And then, I am reminded that the weapon room has weapons. Yep.
You must be Sherlock Holmes, am I right? The chief told me to help you. What can I do?
Can you help me to identify certain weapons that are found here?
No problem. That's easy. Show them to me, and I'll tell you what they are.
I'll probably have to take these one at a time.
A man catcher, the ideal weapon against a Frenchman.
Okay.
It's a Lucerne hammer.
These weapons are heavy. I can only take 2 at a time.
Alright. This is gonna be a little irritating, but... Alright, so... Crow's Peak is Baldric as Barzing made a swing, was saying, sort of ignored in all pairs, and sort of marched along. So I have... Okay, so actually I gotta go back because there are more weapons than I have items in the song, so I have to be a little more strategic. Yeah, let's put that back. Put that back. Let's do it this way. Oops. Morningstar. Pretty sure it's a third one?
A true halibut. A magnificent piece.
No, it's not that.
A guisarme, as everyone knows, resembles a faux shard.
Well, everyone knows that. Although I actually do remember... Maybe not. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, I know Morningstar's a ball and a chain. I get maybe there's another rack here? Aha! There are other weapons here. Okay, here we go.
A morning star,
There we
a
go.
club-like weapon, quite popular with the English army.
My D&D knowledge is not completely left me. This is glaive. That's a sword. Want to say that's a glaive?
It's a bardiche, a type of poleaxe without hooks. A large axe, really. This hook is a bec de corbin, or crow's beak as it's sometimes called. It was complemented by a hammer or spike. A guisarme, as everyone knows,
Right, okay.
A true halibut.
No. Crow's beak. Bardiche. No, I already looked at the bardiche.
It's a lucerne hammer. This hook is a bec de...
Oh, crow's beak, okay. Crow's beak edge is one of them. So let's go ahead and head back. Now, the first morning star was seen by Lamarok, and Lamarok is the dragon and the cross. So dragon and the cross, item, morning star, boom. Next. Percival was the crow's beak. Percival is the heart with the shields. Item, crow's beak, done. Hooray, 2 already. Back to the weapons room. So we still need glaive, bardiche.
These days, we call this a spear.
Okay.
During the Middle Ages, it was called a glaive. Come, Mr. Holmes, that, quite simply, is a sword.
Shut up. Lancelot had a sword actually, so let's go ahead and just do that. Oops, wrong place. So Lancelot is 3 lions. And the one with the glaive is boars. Boars to Ganis. Okay. Okay, that's it. We have 1, 2 more. So Bedivere is Bardiche. Okay, let's see where that is. Do we see a Bardiche? Remind me. The other one is Sir Kay. Partisan. So Bardiche and Partisan. Right. Bardiche and Partisan. Bardiche and Partisan.
A man-catcher, the ideal weapon against a Frenchman. It's a lucerne hammer. A true halibut, a magnificent piece. A guisarme, as everyone knows, resembles a partisan, a hasta.
Partisan?
It's a bardiche,
okay, there it
a
is.
type of...
Okay, cool. Thank you guys. Let's head back. Doing that. Sir Bedivere and the Bardiche. Bardiche goes there. And then by process of elimination,
I need something.
there we go.
Elementary.
Well done, Holmes.
Whew. That is...
Look,
wait.
it's a bat, Holmes.
The bat.
Indeed, Watson. It is scared of our light, as many members of its species are. It will be very hard to attract it, and even harder to capture it. If only we could disorient it. Perhaps by pointing a beam to flash a bright light at it. Listen, stay here and prevent it from escaping while I go look.
Beam of bright light. That's not gonna help. Just kidding, reminds me, if you guys have seen the video of family in Ireland's that had a bat stuck in their kitchen, it just reminds me of that. Daddy, it's a bat! It's a bat!
Have you found something, Mr. Holmes?
No, I haven't. Can't amplify that. Okay, so I have to jump out of here. That's why I can't find anything. Close that. Go to Quinn's house. Alright. Yes.
This instrument will give me a strong, bright light. Watch out! Protect your eyes!
It'll take 12 minutes to set this up.
You got it, Holmes. And as a bonus, you got a nice photograph also.
Oh. Wow.
What do you suggest I do with a photograph of a bat, Watson?
Give it to Sergeant Wayne. It's his camera.
The animal is holding a small piece of paper between its paws. The message written on this paper is illegible.
Illegible. Gotham by gaslight. And that's actually pretty good elsewhere, I'll be honest. That's the one where I know it's Victorian, but I think also he's a vampire, or is that maybe a different one? I don't remember. Alright. Jump to the ramparts. Give this guy sunflower seeds.
What's my name? What's my name?
Oh no, it's a parrot.
What's my name? What's my name?
He keeps asking what his name is. This bird seems to be remarkably well trained. How can I find your name?
Beautiful but impish. You search for her name. Long ago, on you she played a trick. Or was it your heart that she did prick? German bird or eagle? They're one and the same.
I don't believe this.
Elementary. The message written on this paper is illegible.
Well done, Holmes.
Yeah, Yodan says so.
We are supposed to find 6 birds, and there is one missing. 2 possibilities. Either one of the birds has flown and taken our hopes with it, or, despite our misfortune, there is still a chance that the last bird is completely diurnal and is perched somewhere awaiting the day.
What shall we do, Holmes?
Stay up, Watson, and wait. Wait for the dawn and the first signs of life from the bird. Watson! Watson! I hear a bird's call. It would appear that our prayers were answered. We must seek it quickly, Watson.
Anyway, Yodan mentions, several centuries ago, someone designed a secret puzzle able to detect what weapon was put into a slot. They are all identical looking, and also all had pretty much identical handles. Each weapon bearing the same name, and any time after that worked. And Lupin knew this, solved it, and left us a note. Yes, this makes perfect sense. But I mean, this is definitely a game where the puzzles are kind of, or the plot's really more of a loose framework of puzzles. It's not quite like the DS series puzzle game, Layton. It's not Professor Layton style where the plot is basically just a way to get to the puzzles. It's not quite that bad, but certainly this puzzle feels like it fits thematically here rather than actually making sense to it, which is, this is designed to be a puzzle game, so it is what it is.
The bird, Holmes. There it is.
A bird, yes, but which one? We must identify it, Watson.
Where are you, birdie? Tweet, tweet, tweet. Where are you, Blade? Oh, come on. Okay, I think it was up from the door. Infinite G's counter proposal is that Lupin actually broke into the Tower of London and then just made that puzzle. Because he's just that good. And, you know, that tracks. There you are.
Incredible. Based on this bird book, it is a Le Mergier. I have heard about them, but I have never seen one with my own eyes.
Since you never leave our lodgings, I'm surprised that you've even heard talk of them. Now what?
Le Mergier, Watson. If only it was Greek and had a great big turtle.
Oh, what?
A turtle, Watson. Have you never heard of Aeschylus the philosopher?
I must still be sleeping. This is all a dream. Maybe the whole thing has been a dream. It must be the side effects of the nightmare I was having. Any moment, Mrs. Hudson will...
Watson, get a hold of yourself, man. You aren't dreaming. Our mission, England's honour.
Holmes, did I really hear you talk about a Greek, bearded vulture, a turtle, and a philosopher all in the same sentence?
Indeed, Watson. Listen carefully. Aeschylus was an ancient Greek philosopher. He had a phobia of enclosed spaces and would never enter a building of any kind. This was as a result of the fact that it was predicted that he would die by being crushed by a roof. Do you know how Aeschylus died, Watson? His skull was smashed by a turtle that fell from the skies. We cannot escape our destiny. A turtle carries its house on its back, and its shell is its roof. But where did this turtle come from, and why did it fall exactly on the head of this poor man? Some would say that it was the divine power attached to the prophecy. There is, however, a more pragmatic explanation. The Le Mergier, or bearded vulture, likes to eat the bone marrow from the cadavers of large animals. To extract the marrow, it grabs the bone in its claws and flies to a great height. Then it lets go over a rocky area where the bones smash and split open, giving it a lavish feast. Some of them have been observed in Greece behaving the same way with turtles as they normally do with bones, to get at the flesh. Aeschylus was of an advanced age at the time of his death, and his bald head would have reflected light like a smooth rock. Had he been under the shelter of a house, he would never have been hit with the turtle in the first place. I'll let you ponder the philosophical points of the matter, but coming back to our Le Mergier, we'll need some bait and something with which to capture the beast.
Holmes, I will take care of finding a turtle. I'll return as soon as possible.
Really, Watson? I commend your industry and valour. That leaves me to find something to trap it.
However, Holmes, would you happen to have a few quid on you?
No, but you can make a detour via Baker Street. There must be at least 10 sovereigns hidden in our lodgings. Just a little memory exercise that I set up. At the boredom, you know.
So I'm actually really digging Watson's increasing what the fuck tone and having. It's like, how did we get here? Because I'm kind of feeling that a little bit too. So I'm actually warming to this interpretation of Watson more than I thought I would. And luckily, yes, I do know exactly the Hive Upscum villainy where dastardly turtle racing does occur. Oh my god, we get to go see the turtles again. This is the best day ever, guys. I'm so excited about this.
Ha ha! A sovereign. Elementary, my dear Holmes.
Oh no, there's 10 individual sovereigns.
A sovereign. Perfect.
Oh no.
Ha ha! A sovereign. Elementary, my dear Holmes.
Minor point of order. Holmes never actually said the phrase elementary, my dear Watson. It is not anywhere in the canon. He has referred to things as elementary, and he has referred to things as elementary at the same time as referring to Watson, but he never used the exact words elementary, my dear Watson.
Ha ha! A sovereign. Elementary, my dear Holmes.
Do you play the turtle or the turtle's owner? Or both? I don't know. Also, I am liking how, because you're playing back and forth as Holmes and Watson, they are giving Holmes leave to be a little more
strange place to stow money.
Brusque and a little, I mean, kind of dickish to Watson. I actually kind of dig that.
Strange place to stow money.
Yes, you're doing a thing 10 times, and so we're gonna give you 5 lines. I don't like it either. It is what it is.
Strange place to stow money.
7. Oh no, we have 3 more to go. I will say again though, I mean this. I think I already looked in there. This was a relatively at this time. I think they were getting more employees, but still a relatively small studio. So I mean, their budget was better than some of the other games, but was still not great. So I'm trying to cut them a little bit of slack on that. But because voice acting, I mean, voice acting nowadays, it's not uncommon for it to run you at $200, $300, $400 an hour. So, I mean, it's really expensive even to record some extra lines. But it doesn't change the fact that it's not frustrating to hear the same lines over and over again. It's just like Skyrim, being shot in the knee line. I don't know how many times I heard that.
Strange place to stow money.
Oh, I guess one's empty.
Strange place to stow money. A scandal in Bohemia.
Yes, I know we saw that one.
Strange place to stow money.
Right, now that we have 10 sovereigns, go to... Do I have to walk there now? That's irritating. Before I could just jump there. Oh, Back Street, never mind. In chat, this is great. So to recap, so far we've vandalized the museum, we've solved the century-old puzzle made from advanced technology, given drugs in exchange for favors, entered business with a hidden gambling ring, and now we're going to sacrifice a turtle. And don't forget we stole a treasure from our roommate. Also true. Back in the good old days where we were just chucking typewriters through windows, and that was the high point. Hello, turtle. Sorry, buddies.
How much for one of these turtles?
The champion isn't within your means, chap. The loser will set you back 10 sovereigns.
What a coincidence. I happen to have exactly that amount of money for some unknown reason.
How much for one of these turtles?
The champion isn't within your means, chap. The loser will set you back 10 sovereigns.
Sorry, buddy. Here's yours too. So now we go back to the past. Samurai Jack. Yes, no, just me. Okay. What's going on?
While you wait, Watson, I need something big with which to catch the lammergeier. It's a rather large bird.
And I have... a rope. No, sorry, I have string, same rope. Alright, let's go to the weapons room, see if we can find anything there. London. Weapons room has been mid for us so far. I do think I remember seeing. Yes, haha.
This net would be perfect if it wasn't in such a pitiful state. I'll need some string to repair it.
What a coincidence.
This string is perfect. I'll get to work while I await Watson.
What? What is happening? Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. It's one of those you can't cross the same place twice kind of puzzles. Yeah, okay. This is gonna be fun. I'm not good at these. Jaeger is mentioning that Iron Crown had put out a Rollmaster supplement called Time Raiders, where the time traveler was Holmes' sister. Another piece of fact is that they also put out a series of I hate this puzzle. Of storybooks. Actually, they did like game books, like kind of not choose your adventure style, but you know, we actually had dice in the character sheet. And you played one of the Baker Street regulars. They had 4 of them, I want to say. So clearly, the folks there were big Holmes fans. Did I mention I hate this puzzle? Section 2. Wow. All right. Walk through it is. Oh, great. Use the string taker from the net on the net. That it doesn't tell me actually how to do the puzzle. Joy. Yeah, this is the high quality Twitch streaming you're looking for. This is, you know what? It's Wednesday night. I want to sit back and relax and watch some dumb asshole try to weave a net. This is not quite the darts game, but it's pretty damn close. Worst part, I can't even undo it. I have to actually screw it up and clear it out. I think the problem I'm having. Yeah, thanks for looking that up for me. I will say later Holmes games in this one, they had a skip option, so you could avoid this kind of nonsense. I'm usually okay with puzzles, but this particular variety I've always had an issue with. I think actually what I'm gonna do, it's a bit early, but rather than make you guys sit there and kind of watch me fuss with that, I'm going to go ahead and just save this. Oh wait, hold on, never mind. J. Gray does actually have something here, so let me see if I can. So, okay, I do have something here. All right, hang on.
This string is perfect. I'll get to work while I await Watson.
This may not be as bad as I thought. Because I was originally like, how do they even show me how to do this? But okay, let's do the puzzle now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, never mind. Cool. Thank you. Thank you, J. Gray.
Here's your turtle, Holmes.
Watson, you impress me. This specimen will be ideal. I need to find somewhere to put it down, Watson.
Yeah, the sound effect was very weird. Okay, so, right, I need to go back to the White Tower. There's a convenient
I need something.
turtle spots, I guess.
Stand back, Watson, as we wait for our bearded friend to descend.
I hope you'll be able to catch it on the first try, Holmes. Ginger would never forgive me.
Ginger?
Yes, the turtle.
Of course, of course.
Holmes was like, yeah, that's why I knew that. I deduced the turtle's name. Quick, grab the net. The net.
There's our starving friend, Watson, and the last paper.
At last. I thought we'd never succeed.
Well, funny.
Now can we head back to our lodgings and sleep for part of the day? We have until this evening.
We are heading back to Baker Street, Watson, but not to sleep. We have time for a meal, and then we must make haste to the next location that we will ascertain with the help of these messages.
But I'm done for, Holmes.
As Ashila said, I think the slain care little if they sleep or rise again. Come, Watson, make haste.
I can no longer take it. Regardless where these papers that were found on those damn birds at the Tower of London lead, you'll be going without me, Holmes. Plus, this business cannot remain secret much longer, and Scotland Yard would like to take over the case again, and I would gladly give it to them.
You are correct, Watson. Even if Chief Warder Smith sent 2/3 of his men on holiday to minimize the risk of leaks, the authorities would be aware with very little delay that something was afoot in London, and they would want to take over the case, as you say. But Scotland Yard is once again facing a strong opponent and is up against a resounding failure. There is no question of my stepping down or even thinking of resting, not while England is being menaced by Arsène Lupin.
As you wish, Holmes. If only I had known that one day you would be giving me lessons in patriotism.
Now, try to figure out the meaning of these messages.
But how, Holmes?
They are illegible, Watson, but as Lupin seems to be a magician when the mood strikes him, it may well be a conjuring trick.
Okay, so we need to find a way to review these papers. I'm guessing chemistry table. I guess incorrect.
Elementary.
Oh, right. Invisible ink. With no hope of return, the six have flown. What to do, I hear you groan. I will avenge the harm against my nation, the price steepened for restitution. That is right. As history provides, a sublime emperor displayed to the whole world our splendor. He conquered the land from east to west. The treasures be unearthed, all were impressed. From the center of the earth they came, 1,000 years old, even 1,000 again. It is called a treaty, but it was merely a plot for you to steal what was yours to take not. The name you search for is a city, that of Catherine, a saint very pretty. She was a model not only for Raphael, but Solario, Crivelli, and Lochner as well. England still retains this plunder. A brash display is any wonder. The treasure is mine for the taking. I shall succeed or die trying. Covered in riddles, the object I am after. I turned a young Frenchman into a master. It turned a young Frenchman into a master. You thought it was one of yours running the show, who deserved to win the prize, but no, it is to our man, not your Mr. Young, to whom we say you are a champ, a lion.
Incomprehensible yet again.
Nay, Watson, this letter talks of painting amongst other things, and I bet Lupin wants to gain some time by having us strolling around London, but this time I anticipate arriving at the site of the next theft before he does. Watson, you're spent. You must rest this morning, and I'll take care of this alone. I'll come back to collect you around 11 o'clock.
Good night.
I must find something that resembles the description given in the poem.
Okay. And I guess I actually will, as Watson's going to bed, I will probably follow him and call it a night a bit early. Like I said, it's been a hell of a lot of everything. I do appreciate you guys hanging out and helping me kind of get through all this. We got through the infamous Tower of London sequence, so hooray for that. And we will start our next section next time. As always, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next week.